Yeah, I started ahead without you guys, but I'll get you caught up to speed. Pretty much, you just ripped up the floor and wanted to see what I had for framework underneath. I could tell a bunch in the back has been rebuilt. Looks like the center section right here has been beefed up with a square tubing where the rest of it isn't. It's more like a C-channel. Even on the sides there are C-channel. So at some time, somebody came in and did a repair to that. And all that actually looks pretty good. The only thing I really notice is this one that we saw from underneath, I think on the first video I had at home, is twisted. So we're going to see about getting that one straightened out. And then the plywood's okay, but I think for how much a sheet of plywood costs, I'm just going to get 2 new ones and put them down, and it won't have those tie-down plates for me to trip over when I'm using them. I may put some other ones in different areas, but you know, should work out pretty good. And I picked up some stuff. What stuff do you say? I got? Well, here's the stuff. All right, got a compressor for 50 bucks off of Craigslist. Went this morning and got that. And it's kind of like the size of what I'm looking for. 2 horsepower, 115 psi. It goes up to, I think it kind of cycles between 90 and 115. It is a twin cylinder belt drive. I wanted a belt drive. I did not want the ones that have the little stupid rubber diaphragm inside them that does not hold up well. Those are good for your painting. You don't get any oil in your paint setup, but I'm not concerned about that. And I filled it up a while ago and left everything on. It seems to be maintaining pressure. It's not dropping down, so it doesn't have a bunch of leaks. And that should fit in there pretty good. And I think for 50 bucks, this is a fairly good deal too. So the only thing I may do to this is maybe add some air storage to it, as far as maybe another external tank. It seems like it runs out of air fairly quickly, you know. So I think it's a 6.7 CFM is what it can produce and maintain. 6.7. So it's decent. And again, most of what this thing is just going to be doing is running a plasma cutter. So it's not like it's going to be going through a terrible amount of air. And what's nice is it's quiet. It's not a loud, rattly kind of thing with that little twin cylinder. And the other piece I got was a piece of countertop. I stopped by the scrapyard. The scrapyard sells stuff out of there too. So there was a stainless counter. It is, I think, 30 by 60. So 5 foot by 30 inches. So this will be one of them. And it's fairly stout. It's got a steel frame underneath it. And then I want to say it's probably 14 gauge. It's not thin stuff, I know that. That weighs 65 pounds right there. So that'll probably be one of the benches in some aspect. Alright, so let me get set up and we'll start tearing up some floor, or straightening some beams. I already tore up the floor. Alright, so I got a pry bar. I think we'll start easy before we start getting quarter powers and all that kind of stuff out of there. We'll just see if it'll twist back without too much of trouble. Gonna be a big pair of water pump pliers. Comes the rain. I think I have to hammer a piece of wood in on that side, or jack or something. Put something in between, and I'll pry on the bottom so you can get it to straighten out. Right now, there's no resistance going one direction. So now I got something to push against. I just stuck a jack in between there, and I figure I can kind of move it up and down as needed. Let's try prying on it now, see if it'll want to straighten. Still pretty straight. A block of wood. Can even get in with a block of wood. Flip her over. I should probably put maybe a jack on the other side and beat on it with a sledgehammer. Oh, so else you get to the point that you just beat. Well, more jacks and a big ass hammer. So let's see how a big ass hammer will help our situation. Maybe, maybe not. Safety third. Betterer. Probably move the jack to move that whole setup to right there. See if we can get that one straight, and then I'm just going to straighten that top lip out. Should be pretty close to good. It's going to pop right there. Give it a couple. There's a little hernia sticking out of it right there. Let's see if we can massage that out of it while everything's still fluid here. Let's get it. So I just do more of the same with that. I'm going to work my way across and get this last one out right here and help me probably in the way. Bet you clamped up on the wall. But that one's got that one. Actually, that's the one that we're pressing against. This one, fairly straight. See how it looks when the pressure comes off of it. But we'll just shift it right to that one. So I did my share of bending and twisting, and got that sucker as good as I can. But even after it was all said and done, you could tell that the metal is kind of fatigued because you can kind of grab it and twist it fairly easy, where if you grab another one's pretty stout. So I decided to scab on next to it a piece of 2x2, which is like an old gym equipment. And that's what you see kind of clamped into place right there. So I figured I'll weld that sucker in there, and also give me a better nailer or screw location for mounting the wood to. And that should do it. I don't need to overkill it. The floor kind of really ties it together. Kind of like 2x4s in a wall. You know, if you before the sheathing's on the wall, you can grab the 2x4s and walk them back and forth, wiggle them around. Kind of the same, no different here. You know, this one's already been boxed in. They already did it to this one, but even the one that hasn't been touched, it still kind of has some movement to it. So I think that should fix this up quite well. So I can go fire up the welder and spend about 10 or 15 minutes buzzing that sucker into location, and then I might take a ride and grab some new sheets of plywood to throw down on this. And a little trip to Home Depot. Grabbed 2 sheets of pressure treated 3/4 inch plywood. They don't call them 3/4 inch anymore, something like 23-30 seconds or something. But that one's already been ripped to fit that front section, and this guy's all welded in. The lighting's starting to go away on us, but that's nice and strong now, and plus it gives me a good place to screw down to. So I'm gonna go get that in there, and then go cut the other sheet for here, and it's gonna leave a 12-inch strip across the front, which I'm gonna patch in with some extra that I have, like a glove. Well, maybe OJ's glove. So now it just needs a good screwing. We all need, and she should be done for tonight anyway. It's, again, the goal that I set for myself. And so about 100 screws later, we should be all set, and gonna wrap her up. And I found these. I'm gonna try these self-tapping screws that are made to go from wood into steel, and are good for pressure treated. I don't know if it would react or whatever the issue is. And these look like they would just kind of make it, but there's some places where the wood is sitting up, you know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch underneath it, and you got to kind of suck it down. So I ended up buying both. I'll try the small one. If the small one doesn't catch, I'll come back and hit it with one of the longer ones. So I am going to go set up my impactor and see how this goes. And probably about 100 screws later, it is all done. It is so strong like bull. Bring on the ditch witch now. I think she's quite well. I'm sure tomorrow when it's light out, I'll see I missed a screw or two here or there, but that worked out quite well. So I think we're all the way up to the back door. The back door is the next major hurdle to go and deal with. But hey, it'd be that bad. It'd just be a bunch of yanking and bending. It's essentially it's this all over again. So and in the end of it, I'll run some molding along the edges. We're trying to keep it so it's mouse proof, so no little critters decide to move in. So I want to make sure all the little seams and seals are nothing open for them to do their thing that they always seem to do in my stuff, you know. Alright guys, well that's it. It's dark out. Almost dark out. We're gonna go in and have dinner and watch something stupid on TV. Or something cool on YouTube, I should say. Alright guys, later.